Hey guys, what's up? Welcome if you're new here. Today I'm going to be talking about the best binge-worthy Netflix TV shows. All of these shows I've probably binged in like a day or two because they're so freaking good. Some of them took me longer just because they're like 5-6 seasons. But if you guys are looking for a new Netflix show, then I am your gal. All of these are completely different genres of shows. I tried to sort them kind of a little bit, not really. So I have everything from like dystopian type shows to anime to dark shows to girly shows to K-drama to sitcom-y shows. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. So the first show I want to talk about is one that is super underrated. It's called The 100. The 100 is about kind of like a dystopian world where the Earth is inhabitable because there was a nuclear war, and so everything is just toxic, radioactive. So all humans kind of went into like, I don't want to say spaceships, but like satellite type things, like giant rings in the sky. And at this time, it's been 100 years since, or like 80 something years since the world became uninhabitable. And so the people in these spaceships are running out of oxygen. So what they decided to do was to send the juveniles down to Earth. Juvenile delinquents as in kids from like 13 to like 19, 20-ish. They sent them down to the Earth kind of as a death trap, but also trying to see if the world was habitable. And it turns out that since they were raised in space, that their metabolism is kind of built differently. And so they can actually still, even though Earth is extremely radioactive, they can still survive down there. So it just kind of goes with them running into natives and the adventures that they have when they're down there. It is such a freaking good show. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It kind of sounds weird and nerdy and sci-fi-ish, and it is, but it's so good. Like, at least watch the first couple episodes. Like, watch the first 2 episodes, okay? It is so good. Like, I love that show. No one talks about it. It's so underrated, so definitely yes. The second show is kind of different. It's a historical drama called Reign. It takes place in like 13th or 14th century France, and so it's about Queen Mary of Scots and King Francis of France, and they're kind of have had like an arranged marriage since they were born, and she's been in a covenant her whole life just because her whole entire country is under warfare. So it's really, really interesting and cool because it kind of goes through like their life and what it's like being a royal and even what it's like back in that time period. And I love history type things. It is so good. If you're really into history, like I like watching documentaries, like historical documentaries, but if you're into history or you like historical type things, I would definitely recommend that show. It is so good. At least watch the first episode. It's so good. Next show is a Netflix original called Good Girls, and it's about like 3 moms who rob a grocery store, and they kind of go through this like thug life mantra kind of, where they're like robbing and like doing this, but they're also living like normal lives so nobody's gonna suspect them, and it's so good. I think there's like 10 episodes or something, and I watched it in a day. It is amazing. So if you're into like, you want a new like super binge-worthy show, it's kind of one of those Netflix originals that's actually good. I have 3 darker type shows. The first one's Criminal Minds, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of just like a copy show. It's about like the BAU, and just like every episode is a different mystery murder they have to solve, but they specialize in like serial killers. That's what they specialize in. So people who have done more than one killing. It's really interesting, really, really good. There's like 13 seasons. I would definitely start with like season 3. I think I started with season 1 a long time ago, but season 3 is good. But yeah. And then I'm going to be talking about Insatiable. Insatiable is another Netflix original. The acting is terrible. It's one of those shows that's so bad it's good. It's kind of about this girl named Patty, and she grew up her whole life being bullied because she was really, really overweight. And then she got punched in the jaw, had to go on an all-liquid diet, turned super skinny and like beautiful. And it's kind of about her getting revenge on all the people who wronged her. And it's a very controversial show, but I think it's really good. The acting is terrible, so ignore the acting. Like, it's kind of a show like you hate to admit that you like, but it's actually like really good, so I would definitely recommend that one. The last dark show is about You, and if you haven't heard about that or you haven't seen it yet, it's about Joe Goldberg, and he's this really, really creepy guy who like stalks this girl he likes, and kind of the adventures through that. I don't want to say any more than like he stalks her because I don't want to give any of the show away, but it's really, really good, and Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars stars in it, so that's pretty cool. My next category is anime. So it was really hard picking 2 animes because I do love anime, but I know a lot of people don't really watch it, so I picked 2 that I feel like even if you don't like anime, you'll like, and they're really good animes that you'll binge watch. The first one is Sword Art Online. This is the first one that I ever watched, actually, and it's really good. It's kind of about this video game that comes out called Sword Art Online, and it's a virtual reality type game, and so people are brought into the universe, into this like kind of universe in their virtual reality where the guy who created the game actually traps them in there. So if you die in the game, you die in real life, and it's so good. So it's kind of about how all these people are trapped in the game and kind of their life there and kind of the years that go by, and it's amazing. I would definitely recommend watching that show. It's cool. I like it. And then the next one is called Seven Deadly Sins. This show is very hard to explain. It's a Netflix original anime, and it's actually really, really good. And it's kind of about like Meliodas and the Seven Deadly Sins, who are actually like not bad. They're actually good. I don't have a lot to describe this show with, but I would just recommend watching the first couple episodes. I think you'll really like it. It's really good. So now I'm going to talk about K-dramas. The two K-dramas that I put are Hell in My 20s and Boys Over Flowers. Boys Over Flowers is a really, really classic one. It's about this girl who gets into a very, very rich elite Korean school because she like saves someone, and she's there on scholarship, and it's kind of like her struggles with this and like the guys she meets, and it's so good. I can't say anything else. Hell in My 20s is about 5 girls who live together in a share house in Korea, and they're in university, and just they all have like different tastes in guys. They're all doing different things with their lives, so it's really interesting. They're kind of like strangers, but they're all living together, so it's kind of about the things they go through while living together. It's really good. And then I have like kind of sitcom-y shows, so shows where I don't know, just sitcom-y. So the first one's New Girl, and it's a really, really good show. If you're into shows like Friends and The Office and How I Met Your Mother, you'll definitely like New Girl. It's kind of like one of those shows. It's about this one girl who gets like three guys as her roommates, and just kind of like how her life is, and it follows her around like that. It's amazing. I love that show. I think I binged it all in a while ago. It was like probably a year ago, but it was really good. And then Shameless, which I actually finished last night, binging it. It was so good. Shameless is about the Gallagher family, and kind of they live on the south side of Chicago, so they live in a very, very poverty-strict area, and it kind of follows their lives through that, their ups, their downs. It deals with a lot of heavy topics too, but it's so good and so entertaining, and I love it. And if you do watch it, give this video a like. And then the last 3 shows are very girly shows, like that I feel like every girl needs to watch. The first one is Gossip Girl, which I don't need to explain. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Same with Pretty Little Liars. I'm not going to go into depths about those 2 shows just because I feel like everyone has seen them. But the last one is Vampire Diaries, and this show I feel like is underrated. I didn't even watch this until last year. It is so good. It's about Elena, and she meets the Salvatore brothers, so Damon and Stefan, and it kind of like follows her around dealing with like finding out that her boyfriend was a vampire. It's not as cringy as you think it is. It's so much better than Twilight. It is the best show ever, and it has like more than vampires. There's like sirens and werewolves and witches and like hybrids and so many things. It's such a well-made show, and I also love it because there is a little history component in it, and I love history. So yeah, those are kind of like my 15 binge-worthy Netflix shows. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I tried to make this as quick as possible because I could talk about these shows for so long. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified every single time I post. Leave a like and a comment with any other videos you'd like to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.